My God, folks. Down goes Man Boy. Down goes Khadijah. Down goes Irene. Episode 9. Let no one be safe this episode. It's Nigerian Lucas. We're here to break down this week's episode of Snowfall. Episode 9, Sleeping Dolls. It was a crazy episode. As I said, 3 top people have met their fate. Now, before we get started, I got to ask you all, straight off the jump, out of the 3 we lost tonight, which one did you enjoy the most? But ultimately, which one did you think had the best scene? Because they all were done differently. There's a lot to really break about each one that went down. But, you know, these are 3 characters we all figured was going to meet it at some point. But here we are, episode now, and 3 major characters from not only just this series, but I can't even talk. Predominantly this season, are all now gone. So yeah, definitely let us know which one of these 3 are you not going to miss. But anyway, how's it going today, Lou?
Just waiting to see if they're gonna kill somebody else. Like, I've been looking around me. Need that crippled nigga to not come up on me and try to shoot me in the head for something. The way some of them people in them comments be trying to shoot me in my head when I talk. But yeah, I mean, this hey, look here. As we always say, whatever show we review, it's always the episode before the finale.
Yeah.
That you get the most stuff in. And this one didn't disappoint. I was happy that Man Boy was killed. I was happy that Khadijah was killed, but none of them was as satisfying as Irene getting killed. The way he set her up is what made that so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful to set her up that way. And the whole time I'm thinking he would drug her drink. That was what I was thinking. Like, okay, he's gonna drug her drink. Like,
Reed went full blown Bill Cosby.
Yeah. I said,
and then gave her the mandible claw.
Exactly.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because again, I want to talk about the deaths. Also, I gotta also say Louie is alive. Like, I didn't think she was gonna die. I know there was a little bit of speculation that she may that you know, she was gonna go away, but she's alive. So definitely want to mention that. But I think it is super fitting the way he did it with Irene. Now, here's what I loved about the whole Irene thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was 1,000% with a bunch of zeros at the end that she was going to die as soon as she put the key into the ignition.
Yeah.
Because that's so cliche. However, he's CIA. He has to do it smarter. He has to make it look like it was her fault. A fatal accident as it is billed. And that's exactly what you want to do. So yes, he did give her a super neat whiskey with a little bit of Bill Cosby in it, and then gave her to Mankind, and then that's it. No one's even looking back into it. That's a wrap. And that's exactly how you want to do it. We love to talk about power. You know, this is also a tactic that Tommy pulled at a point where you're just like, you know, if you want to keep the heat off of you, then you have to make it look like the person did it themselves. And so, like, I'm glad they did it the way he did it, because psychology-wise, it makes sense for that character. But for me, I mean, I was like, oh, here it comes. As soon as she get in the car. And, like, it's kind of cool that she looked at Reed in a way that it also made it seem like she knew she was in trouble. Like,
hey, she looked back.
Yeah.
So that the look back told us, okay, maybe the car isn't going to blow up, because she's looking back like, I wonder, is my car going to blow up? Or let me wait for him to pull off first, just in case he tries to kidnap me or something.
Yeah.
Like, she was trying to be aware of everything. Whole time, you didn't understand. You two, like, did alcohol affect you that much?
I mean,
that's the key part. Like, how many whiskey neats did you have that had you stumbling out that junk? Or, what's a fatal flaw in this show, where you're so focused on your story.
Yeah.
That you blindly led yourself into that situation.
Yeah.
And replayed you because he knew that's what you would do.
Yep.
The ultimate pursuit leads you to make stupid decisions.
Yep. And it's crazy how, like, the rest he looked, but he's still on top of his game, which is super I guess I'm falling for the character at this point now because I thought he was just looking out of shape, out of the game, kicked to the curb, and he's still executing on all cylinders. I will say this too. Here's what I thought was super interesting. I know somebody's going to bring this up. When Reed was sort of giving his sob story to Irene, and she was kind of just like, "I don't feel sorry for you." Isn't it really ironic that is the exact same things he was saying is the exact same things that Irene is doing in regards to sacrificing everything for the mission? And at that moment, I was like, although she's wearing the really poker face, I think she's sympathizing with him just a little bit, and that's all he needed was just that inch to really put his plan into play, which was really, 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 really cool because I just think in regards to how you build characters and give them multiple layers for the both of them it makes sense. She's in her habitat. She's drinking what she is accustomed to. She's forwarding her mission, so she's getting everything she wants. This is truly everything she wants, and and which is cool is that you see how comfortable she gets around the enemy when she's in her zone.
That's what made this the ultimate setup. He understood to set her up properly. I have to meet you at your place
without a question.
Comfort, because once you get comfortable, you'll let your guard down.
Yeah, but then on the contrary, think about when her husband came to her at her apartment and tried to give her comfort and safety, and she was kind of like, whatever with it. So you really do see how strategical a government, agent.
Let's break it down even further here. This is a CIA operative that you believe has been selling cocaine in the United States to fund a war. And you just magically take a drink that he hands you? What sense does that make? And that's why they played her the way they did, is because it plays up that her goal of getting this interview was always going to be blinding. That's all they did was blind her. What Kanye did them flashing lights, was going off, and she saw nothing else.
Yeah,
but it was right in front of her, which is easy for a setup once you get that way.
Yeah, I also want to talk about Reed really quickly. I know we're kind of bouncing around. We're going to get back on track a little bit, but what I'm really liking about Reed's character and how intrigued I am right now is I don't really know what to make of him. Again, as you said, and as we know, CIA person, so you always have to kind of account for certain tactics. But he essentially showed Gustavo a hand in the sense of he's done and he's out. What am I to make of that? Because that's his right-hand man, and if anybody is to know exactly everything, it would be him. As the viewer here looking, it's like he's telling Gustavo, all right, man, it's been a good run. I got burned. You heard it on the radio. I gotta go. Keep your head up. Whatever. That's it. And then you seem like he made his pieces. And then even the story said they kicked me to the curb and all that other stuff. There may be truth to that, but is it?
I think that entire story he told her is true.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because he was burned, and they figured he would be burned, and he did this on his own. He said, you know what? We're just going to clean this up.
Yeah.
Because in the end, all they're going to care about is the results.
Yeah.
Clean it up. That's why he told them, don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's not clean yet.
Nah.
And that's what made that last scene so great, because I was waiting for them to say it. When he gets to that hospital, and you're like,
I know you have been.
Oh, my goodness. I've been waiting for him to say that. And the moment he get there, Friendly wants to talk about Irene, and he quickly no.
What are we going to do about
your father?
Yep.
He's basically saying, when is he going to die?
Now, let me ask you a question. Was there any other conversation for them to have?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I thought it was a no-brainer here.
Me too. Franklin clearly wants to hold a different. No, we're not. It was Reed being extremely direct. We're not holding a different conversation. One of them is already dead. The only other one who can spill this information needs to die. Yeah.
And it's crazy. Just seeing that guy. He was just here. And by the way, he was talking to Alton like he was like some random dude off the street. Like he is super done with him. There is no rekindling anything between them. That whole family thing is done.
Hey, that nigga, that ain't your job. Like,
but it is interesting that Sissy did not leave. That was questionable about what was she going to do. She made she had the decision to go with him. He didn't go. He's still here. She didn't go. She's still here. She also didn't kind of pick Franklin because she said she was going to, pick herself in this matter. But for me, she did nothing but stay in the exact same place, torn between the two of them. Did you see that coming?
Hey, as good as questions go here, and I know I'm jumping ahead with this question, but it's in my mind now and it's in my heart, so I need to tell you all. I need to ask you all this. How many of you all believe Sissy's going to make it out of this season alive? Because the look I saw says she became a threat.
Yeah. I also think that when she saw Reed, she was not surprised. She knows what Reed is there. With Irene dead, she understands what Reed is thinking. We clearly see she still has feelings for Alton. Clearly she wants to leave with him. But she's torn. Will her being torn lead to her becoming collateral damage? Yeah, that's a better way to put the question. Yeah.
Will Sissy being torn lead her to become collateral damage? Because that's, again, it's an awesome setup. And it's an awesome way that they're setting up this whole conclusion with Alton. And I believe Sissy's going to play an important part in the conclusion of Alton.
I tell you what, I don't see Alton making it out of episode 10, but I also don't see Sissy making it in America. I think she is getting ready to get on her Tupac. And I think she's going to get a one-way ticket via CIA over to Cuba to do her thing. So, she's going to
run every hotel in the world.
Yep.
She can run a whole real estate scheme over that junk with no problem, Joe.
I think that's how I got a feeling that's how they're going to write that character off. There's been enough blood split this episode. I don't think we're going to get.
I don't think so. I don't think we are remotely close to being done. I know my boy Court Jesus or whatever.
Dude, stop.
This episode.
Hey, stay out of my notes, man, because my man Jesus Leon and Jesus Scully out here are about to open up that church together at this point, man.
I don't know what it is about Stacy, and I know the actor has a real name and we respect him, but he's always going to be Stacy to me. But everything he says, I feel like, damn, he right. Even when I didn't feel he was right, when he's having that conversation with Khadijah, like, man, you got to let that hate go.
Yeah, now, that was absolutely going to be my question is, why did Scully hesitate? And I think that, to the point, I think that religion is playing a part in his character, but I also think that it's very easy to look over at Khadijah and say she's being hella reckless right now. And she's essentially starting her own war that doesn't make any sense at this point. And I think
when she made that call and said double, like, where is she getting this money from?
also, like, I feel like she sobbed over her daughter as she should. But over Man Boy, did she care?
But I don't think she ever cared about Man Boy. I mean, as we understand their relationship, they were never that close.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect her to cry over him dying. It is what it is. Like, you did, cool, but like it was always about her daughter. And man, it hurt for her to get killed by Salt and Pepper or be set up by Salt and Pepper.
Hey, bro, hold on. You know what? Let's go to the top of the episode. We're gonna come back down because there is a bunch of little points I want to go over, along with the big things we already kind of touched on. So we're gonna definitely start from the top. But again, folks, this is episode 9 of Snowfall, Sleeping Dogs. Now, we started this episode off with T basically spilling all the beans. She let Franklin know from the jump, when did she encounter Man Boy and how it all went out. It was $100,000 if she gave him the plug. And like we've been saying, this would have all never been a problem if she would have just told Franklin
in
as
the
he
first place.
said. So, but she did have a good counter, which I think that it doesn't really apply to her. And I think y'all all would agree too, since all the ones that said that Franklin's pussy whip, that he's not big on mercy, which is true. But with her, I think at this point now, she done got mercy 3 times.
But it's, hold up. I don't want to say he's not good with mercy. Didn't the woman who shot him and tried to kill him, ain't she still alive?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, they're directing it towards what's his name. So
but that's the definition of pussy whipped. The women can get away with anything with Franklin in the end. It's the men they can't.
Yeah. So
I don't blame people for saying he's pussy whipped. Yes, he is. He clearly is here.
Yeah,
because he's let women just wreck his life completely and suffer no consequences for it.
But they did bring up the good point in using her, flipping her against Man Boy, which they did, which we'll get to in a second. But that's kind of what we were saying last week, is that if you're going to spare her, then flip her. But we will come back to that question one more time. But so Jerome is still at 500 degrees right now. He's hot and he's not cooling down. And I really, really, really love that scene, because for a fact, I'm like, all right, clearly right now, Jerome is a bull. Franklin, you are red cloth. He ain't stopping. And I was wondering, like, what was the whole point of you squaring up with him? And my man Franklin certainly got served a number 2 with mashed potatoes on the side, because I don't know in what planet did he think he was ever going to have a chance. That was my initial thoughts. But I love the speech with that. And he said, if I had to tell them what did I do to stop you, I did everything. And that really did that. Like, that had me stop for a second. I was like, damn, that's some G stuff. But at the same time too, it was what removed the red out of that bull's eye. It worked. But there was a little bit of there was some more context to that came again.
I'm about to say the conversation they had before that was the most important part to me.
Go ahead.
Of him bringing up of Jerome working against him with Man Boy.
Yeah.
And he said, how does that feel? It's like, again, where does Franklin's loyalties lie? Because you openly just admitted to me that you worked with this dude against me. Like, at what point does Franklin learn a hard lesson that family can be your downfall?
Yeah.
That's when I'm waiting for him to learn that lesson and understand that Louis is technically the only person he can trust. He can't trust Jerome. He can't trust his mama. He can't trust Leon. Only person he can trust is Louis.
Family-wise, because I think Peaches is pretty loyal aside of him.
But Peaches don't count because Peaches is paid.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Peaches ain't doing that for free.
Also, I wonder if other homeboy ever comes back, or you think that's just it?
I think that's it. He walked away from the game. It was too much for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was too much. But again, that whole scene with both of those conversations were highly pivotal to me to where this show is going to be moving forward to.
Yeah.
Because from Jerome admitting that means that you was plotting against me. Like, I just can't forgive that. And the second part of it is Jerome realizing, to me, in that moment afterwards, with what Franklin said, like, he may have messed up some.
Yeah. Yep. So next we got Irene as she visits the Breakfast Club, and you all thank you for the information that y'all gave about her portraying the journalist Gary Redd. I have got to look that up. Haven't had time yet.
I can look here. Mr. Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, came out and said that John Singleton stole this idea to make his life. Is that any way, shape, form, or fashion confirmed? Of course it isn't. But we know us. The moment we hear something like that, even if John ain't here to confirm it, nor did John confirm it when he was alive, that he stole this idea from Rick Ross to make this show, we're going to go along with that. And I understand people are going to come to the conclusion that, and yes, we both saw, I'm sure you saw To Kill a Messenger. Yes.
No, I haven't. I
Really?
haven't. Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
haven't.
I reviewed that movie on
Here's the most ignorant thing I can say. When somebody said To Kill a Messenger, I was like, Chris Rock? The stand-up? I was like, this is a real thing.
No. To Kill a Messenger with Jeremy Renner. It's a very average movie. A very mid, as I'm going to call it, a very mid movie. But
yeah, I gotta check it out. Yeah, but like, I was like,
I know we're
saying
I got
Chris Rock
the conclusion, and with him dying in real life, and now people are going to equate it to Irene. But in all honesty, we kind of knew Irene was going to die.
Yeah,
reporters all die.
Yeah,
like
absolutely,
it is what it is. That's part of the story. But I'm not saying it's not Rick Ross's story. I'm just saying that Rick Ross told his side of what happened. And we have Snowfall. But the key part, and that I have not looked up, is even though John is on here, who actually wrote Snowfall? Had the slightest idea.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of pat that a little bit. I mean, with Irene, regardless of it being truth or not, I mean, journalists usually reach legendary status or iconic status upon death, and it just makes sense that the character had to experience death in order for her story that she's been working hard with. I mean, as she said, the CIA shut down parts 2 and 3 and got her fired. So like essentially her visiting the Breakfast Club was like her last hurrah in order for her to like get some type of publicity with it.
Yeah,
and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but her dying now makes everybody take a look at it, because you're just like, oh, a conspiracy.
Will it?
That's how it always works. It's every time something is involved with a death, especially with the government, it's always like a...
But I'm pretty sure they could get her husband to talk about how reckless she was, and they could get people to say she had a problem. And
I mean, look.
But they're not gonna do all that. I don't think they're going to focus that much on the character.
Right. But I mean, logically, yes, you're right. I mean, it's still going to be your word versus the government, and they're going to use all the resources possible to debunk it, but it still gets attention. I mean, controversy is controversy, and everybody's looking at it.
The government making say we clearly didn't have anything to do with this.
Yes,
because they got rid of Reed. Like he did this on his own.
I mean, clearly, yeah. So
hey.
But it just makes sense that it had to be that way. And like, to be honest, like I've been really con Irene, but like it going like this, and I did not see that happen in this episode. I did not think they were going to get this dirty this episode, man.
I couldn't wait for Paz to die. I couldn't wait for it. I needed this one.
Yeah.
Yes, because I did not want them to wait to next episode. Don't tease me with Irene's death, because to me, her dying isn't a big thing.
The
ramifications of her dying are
exactly
the big thing.
Exactly,
and that's what I wanted to see. And I love the point that it looks like that's what we're going to get to next episode.
Yeah. So now we go back to T, who's been flipped, who calls Manboy with everybody staring her down her throat and saying, this is the plan. And Manboy shows up at her apartment,
falling for the actual plan.
Yes, because he's smart, right? Which is like, but he gets stabbed by T, and then gets shot by Franklin, and after that, Jerome and Peaches step in outside and light the whole car up. So down goes Manboy, as I said. But the thing is, he went down chatting, as his character always does, talks a lot. And he did say some things that I think truly speaks towards like a lot of the things we've been saying about
the conflicts of this group and everything else.
So I think that in regards to everybody that watched this episode, this is the part that you want to go back and watch again. You want to hear what he's saying, because it could easily be considered throwaway dialogue. It could easily been over. You could easily missed it by, raving the idea that he's dead now or dying. But like, he said a lot of important things about the dysfunction within the family. And quite frankly, look, as much as I like to want to go back and like break this down, I'm with Jerome the entire time. This entire episode. I am tired of everybody rapping. Finish this off, everybody. So I think it was really cool how they did that. Go ahead.
Jerome would want to finish it off because what the key part and which was Jerome's biggest issue with Franklin.
He don't want to hear the truth. He don't want to hear his truth.
That you your nephew's bitch. Like Jerome is. I'm 1,000%, and I've always known this a little bit. That Jerome has always thought, nigga, I brought you in here. I brought you into this game.
Yeah.
How am I now working under you?
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard pill to swallow. And he put it perfectly. You run around here as your nephew's bitch.
Yeah, I mean, he pushed his patience all the way.
Hey, and he called Franklin Pussy Whip, which, guess what? Everyone else thinks the same thing, too.
Yeah, yeah. And, like, he said, call the cops, lay down the crime scene. I'll make sure your brother's straight, as we said he would have did in the beginning. But here's what's important. Is he still in love with her, or is this officially a wrap? Because he did say, we flipped her, but now she's out. But the other question to that is, should they have killed her?
Why is she alive? I keep on telling you, this is Franklin's issue. This is all Franklin's issue.
Hold on. Let me invite some comments really quick to me real fast. I know, folks. I was the one last week that said that, he was, smart the entire time, and it wasn't Reed that made him wisen up. I said that he was always on top of his game, and he knew about the from the beginning. I was wrong. The thing is, I was wrong.
People in those comments who said that.
I'm like criminally wrong now because I'm like, oh, he's so whipped. He's completely changing the most logical way out of this.
Flip her
by sparing her.
It is very simple here.
Yeah, I think, and I could be tripping, but I think even Peaches gave a look like, hold on, bro, what?
It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. And again, this is why I said, oh, he's clearly whipped, and he didn't put two and two together. He couldn't have. And then you come to the conclusion, we're gonna leave her alive. That's awesome. She knows everything possible about you, and you're gonna leave her alive? Come on, man. Come on, Joe. This is Franklin's biggest issue. That boy is whipped.
All right, folks. I'm gonna ask this question.
This is ridiculous, Joe.
I'm gonna ask this question one more different way. Is there any reason she should still be alive at this point? Because she's a witness to everything. She literally knows. I mean, if Reed knows about this, then this could be.
He would die immediately. Reed wouldn't be playing. Reed would have been kill her.
Yeah.
Like, no, she knows too much. She
won't be you know what? Won't be surprised if there is another conversation about this, because essentially coming to talk about Alton is essentially saying we need to tie all loose ends. So who's left?
Welcome to why I believe someone else may pay the piper next episode. Reed ain't crazy. He's gonna put two and two together. I don't think it's T at this point. She's protected because Franklin's not gonna do anything to her.
We'll have predictions.
To women.
We'll have predictions on that. So so as always, just going back a little bit more again. Khadijah calls her ratchet friends, doubles the bounty. First of all, we gotta take a second to give a moment of silence to my man Scully eating that double glass layered ashtray and stood up to talk about it. He should be 1,000,000,000% concussed or walked into the next day.
I know
my man ate the thick joint.
If you was raised in the 90s, if you was born in the 90s and raised in the 2000s, you don't understand how heavy that ashtray is.
Yes.
As a kid of the 80s, can I tell you, that shit is like 10 pounds of glass, Joe. Ain't no way in hell he should have been able to pop up like he did.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a frying pan before I take one.
Hey, no bull. Y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand. That was crazy when I saw that scene.
I was like, wait,
what? She
yeah. instinctive. Like she knew, like, man, he should have been dead. He should have been a fourth casualty on this episode. Because could you imagine if they did write it that way? If
he would die.
If Scully got killed on friendly fire, yeah, off the ashtray. My God. But yeah, Louis is alive, as I said at this point of this episode, calling plays from the hospital. Said offered the strippers more to take out Khadijah.
Tom Brady, who?
Man,
she
what?
This Joe just dropping dimes out of nowhere, Joe. Like Louis, I'm telling you, man. I've said it before in this show. I believe that Louis is the smartest person out of this group of people.
And listen to this.
He can run in this organization.
Yep. But look, you have to think how smart this is. Because not only is it just a smart plan, but she did it without emotion. These motherfuckers tried to kill you.
And you made it. Flipped them.
Crazy.
Man. Come on.
So yeah, so yeah, we had to go see what's up with them. So we go down to the Pink, and they're counting up their money. The Pink was jumping tonight. Hey,
God damn it.
Wanda came on amateur night as this was the only way. She was the only person I could have did this. But but they said nobody wants to see her crusty ass. Yeah. I was like,
ain't gonna lie though. The first stripper that came in there, I did think that was Miss Mississippi. I said, oh shit, they done crossed you over, Joe.
But I think, like, if you want to talk about comparison here, Wanda executed the flip way better than T.
Yeah. But here's
way more believable.
Let's go back here. I don't think T's was supposed to be believable.
Okay. That's interesting.
I believe T's flip, part of it was she had to come across as obviously trying to set Man-Boy up. Because there was no place they wanted Man-Boy to go. They wanted him there. So I think that was the whole goal, is that was her flip. Her flip was to get Man-Boy to believe that, and then they killed him in there.
Yeah.
Wanda was just really, even though, come on, what's rule number one in the hood, people? Say it with me. Don't trust a crackhead. Why would you trust Wanda?
I thought you was gonna say don't serve where you sleep at.
No, that's the rule, but that ain't number one. Like the moment they get in the car, they're like, wait a minute, how do you know where they live at? How did you get here with no car? And she said, yeah, my homegirl Drew. No, that's a crackhead. That's crackhead logic.
Yeah.
Like I'm not following you anywhere, but it was a good setup.
Yeah,
it was a good meetup. I was really digging it. I thought Cleo and my girl who needed to save her son with money from Set It Off really nailed it here. Yeah. Like for them to be the hitters is a different take that I really am looking forward to.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Beyond that, I do love, Franklin being at his peers, coming out like a G, setting up the deal. But like, I was not invested in these characters, but little comedic, like little acts in each episode. But this episode really intrigued me to wanting more. Like, I really liked how they played off each other. And I do love with how intense this episode was that their scenes were so enjoyable that really like connected or bridged, the certain levels of intensity throughout it. So like, I could definitely be on board for more. Hopefully with the deal that's been cut, we possibly see them more. But if we don't, because, this show does introduce characters with like really pivotal parts in the episode, or like, give them a
like the smart nigga.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The smart nigga we talked about.
Exactly.
That guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Here again.
Yeah, and then they're like there, and then like the original driver, stuff like that, So, but if they did do more, I would be cool with that. I definitely was digging them, and I like what they did. And hell, if we see them down in the Pink, then it's gonna be.
We know Clifford got him.
That'd be crazy
because Mercedes is gone, so he needs somebody else now.
Yeah. So now that they got Khadijah, and it appears that they got Leon, but really they got Khadijah. It's nothing personal. Leon just wanted to apologize. Again, my man Leon done called Jesus. He done, he just wanted to make amends to this. But she was right. Why do I gotta be the bigger person? Why do I have to push this to the side? Which was absolutely the thing that you would expect her to say. And
this is why, again, and we have said it from the beginning, he shouldn't have left her ass alive in the first place.
Yeah. Good thing for you. Jerome, much like myself, was like, you know what? It's a lot of rapping going on today.
Hey, Jerome had enough of it. He's like, no, man, I'm not gonna let this bitch keep on talking. Jerome
is just over it today, man. I think Jerome, to be honest, Jerome probably had 5 lines max, and maybe 3 of them came from that fight, and probably 2 in the hospital. But other than that, he was just like, dog, I'm not with this shit today.
Yeah, we're just not talking no more. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, again, we've talked about it. As mad as she was at Leon, how about you be mad at the niggas driving you?
I thought that was going to come about, but hey, we didn't have time for that because Jerome said, nah, forget the logic.
And that's because Leon just wants to be sensitive. I just want to apologize. What? No. Yeah. I just want to kill you. I don't want to apologize to you.
Oh, man. I mean, again, I think, for Leon, it makes sense. I mean, a lot of people like to say Leon's a G, but he got emotions. He cared a lot about Wanda, and then obviously killing the girl, as you would expect, really was detrimental to his mental, and I think he was trying to make peace to that, and I think he has to make peace to that in order for him to move forward. And I think, which is kind of crazy, is it's truly a parallel to Scully, who is trying to make peace with it as well, even though he's not at fault, but technically indirectly at fault, and he's unable to do anything. He hesitated on the idea of going after Leon, and Leon hesitated on the idea of killing Khadijah, and it both is really circled around the murder of this little girl.
So do we get Scully getting back to business?
I think so. I really think so.
With Franklin.
I really think so. So quickly, because you got to my point, we're going to wrap up this review in a second. Yeah, your predictions for our finale next week. What do you see happening, and what would you like to see happen?
Sissy die.
Okay.
I believe it's a chance that it's going to be some kind of collateral damage situation that she gets caught up in. Franklin cut ties with everyone but Louis. That's something I don't see it happen. That's something I'm hoping that happens, because we need for him at this point to make better decisions. Okay. And a lot of people in his circle right now are not people you should be around. You got to learn a lesson that I was taught as a kid. Just because I grew up with you don't mean I need to stay around you. And he came up with them thinking that means they're loyal and I need to stay around them. But all they've shown you is that that's not true. So I'm hoping we see Franklin move on. I believe Alton is going to die. I don't know by whose hands yet, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe Franklin is going to have it in him to do it. But I think Reed could do it, or Gustavo could do it. Someone else is going to have to kill him. I just don't know who it is, because I doubt it will be Franklin. But that's something I am also looking forward to. And finally, a conclusion about this CIA thing and possibly Reed getting his job back.
Because he closed up all the loose ends.
Everybody. Yeah, he took off every loose end.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's still running the business.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that because you hit a lot of my points, but I am very curious to know who one of my favorite characters this season was. Gustavo, who kind of lost steam towards the later part of the season. I want to know, how do we wrap up his arc? Because we haven't got much. He's been Reed's protector, and he's been, handling the business in the States while Reed was in Nicaragua. So, what's left of him now? And he seemed to be safe. So what are we setting up for him for next season? I think you are absolutely right about the dynamic between Alton, Sissy, and Franklin. As I said earlier, I don't think Alton's going to make it out, but I also think Sissy's not going to make it out with being a resident in the United States much longer. I think she has a one-way ticket to Cuba, where she was hoping she could go with Alton, but things have changed.
She'll be there with Tupac now.
I think it could be interesting. What if it's an indication that they're both going to go, but Alton never shows up? something of that
Sounds about
sort.
right. The old sitcom joint where she's just left there
at the airport,
and they show her staring off, and like that one tear falls because she
gates
understands
are
what
closing.
happened.
She's just come on, ma'am, you have to board now. She's just gonna be like that.
She shakes her head as she boards the plane.
Yeah,
and then you end it with Franklin like sitting on the couch as he stares off, understanding that his whole circle is destroyed. If you are in this show, this season like this, I need a check.
Hey, look, I tell you what if they do something like that and they never reveal what happens to Alton? He just never makes it to the airport.
I don't want no Tony Soprano ending. You better show me him dying.
You gotta give us some steam going into the next season. So we have to have a big open ending.
I think the next season is going to be the reveal of Franklin no longer having a circle. I think
for sure
that's the season. I don't think it's Alton. I think they're going to kill Alton for sure. I think they're going to kill Alton.
I think
and I think Sissy's situation is going to be rectified. I think that's the situation that you can get closing to. But the other situation is Franklin and Leon, is Franklin and Jerome, is Franklin and Louis, and everything coming to a head. Even so, do you think we may get a surprise from someone else this season? I think the former crackhead.
I'll add something else to that. I wouldn't be surprised if Louis gets out, and her being shot is an indication for her and Jerome that they got to get out of town. And I think it's a difficult decision, but I think he'll do anything for her. And I think she may feel more comfortable being out of the city, thus setting up operations in Little Rock. So, I think that's still a lot of potential of show material for them to focus back on that family. And I think they are religious to giving people screen time and it never, manifesting in anything. Yeah. But I would be super surprised if they didn't do something with them. And I think we have to have a visit back down there for a reason. I mean, they introduced that one dude and we know something's up with him.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Well, it's been early. I mean, you never know. This is possibly part of another season or maybe some form of a spinoff, which we thought it would be some form of a spinoff.
Got to. They're making money. People are watching it. They gotta be able to be versatile in direction. So episode 10 next week, Fight or Flight. Franklin family fractures. Teddy makes a difficult decision. Gustavo chooses a new path. That is all we know.
Well, so kind of told you enough.
Yeah.
Franklin's family fractured. You know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
You know it. It. I just want to know how Alton is going to die. That's what I'm way more interested in. And are they going to leave Sissy at the airport crying with the one tear? Or is she going to get to Cuba at the hotel or resort they're supposed to be staying at, open the door, and him not be there?
Yeah, something like that.
Or even better yet, or they try to escape to Cuba and she opens the door and it's Franklin.
That would, I don't know.
And then you get the look over her face because she understands what that, or is, look, I'm just throwing out stuff at this point, or is she opens the door and it's Teddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, which I just
Gustavo
totally forgot,
killing her for Teddy because he knows Franklin can't.
I don't think Sissy's dying. I don't think he's dying. But I will say this though. The one thing that, regardless of those type of predictions, there's also a big hole here. Where is the supply coming from? They have to reestablish a foreign connect, since the whole thing going down in Nicaragua is clearly dead. So where does that leave us? Do we go to Colombia now? Do we go to Mexico? What are our options at this point?
That's all huge cartel territory, which would mean Franklin's price would have to go up. Because
but what does this mean? We have to bring the drama to really bring out, we have to have a focus for next season as to what's going to be the huge antagonist, the big conflict, whatever it's going to be. And I think it's always safe to go with the cartel, whether it's down in Medellin or whether it's in Mexico City, Tijuana, or any of these places.
If it is true and they stole from Rick Ross, you might as well steal from El Chapo or one of them next. Like, you might as well do it.
Yeah. And look, cartel stuff sells. So at this point, like, even being a Snowfall fan, there will be new fans coming in season 5 if they decide to do that. That type of story with the government, and man, talk about the source material they got for this stuff. Hey. And folks, that will probably do it for us tonight. No, but seriously though, we will be back next week for the finale. Folks, always is always encouraged. Jump in the comments, let us know what you thought about episode 9. Episode 10 is gonna be crazy. We can't wait to talk about it. And along with some other news and stuff as we conclude that episode. So definitely stay tuned and be ready for next week, because it's gonna be the finale we all been waiting for. And look no place else for the review of it but right here.
2-hour review.
Yeah, you want me to get a 2-hour review?
Not at all. Not at all.
Might as well watch the episode, folks. But it is anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight, and we'll catch you all next week for the finale. Thank you all.